everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to be doing the commentary / analysis for episode 12 of Miraculous Ladybug season 5 Perfection. However, before I get into it, I'm about to spoil the whole episode for you, so I will try to leave some links below before you can go and watch it. But it's becoming increasingly hard to find these episodes, so I'm making no promises that I will be able to do that, so there you go. Second of all, I have not read the show Bible or seen the vast majority of the leaks, so if you have, that's great, I'm happy for you. I don't actually want to know. I know in this video I'm already going to speculate about things that happen before this episode, things that are going to happen after this episode, but I like speculating. I don't actually want it confirmed for me, so if you could please refrain from commenting that, that would be great. And also thirdly, I know a lot of people aren't going to be watching Emotion, which is fine, that's fine, they're well within their right. So in this video I'm not going to talk at all about Emotion, and I would please really like it if you also don't really mention Emotion in the comments. For those people who have watched this video, are leaving a comment or looking through the comments, please don't mention Emotion for their sake. I'm gonna make, after this one, I'm gonna get changed and I'm gonna film my Emotion analysis. Yes, I've already watched it. I will film my Emotion analysis and I will upload it tomorrow. So if you want to talk about Emotion, please wait for that video. And yeah, so please refrain from any spoilers about Emotion in these comments. Just perfection, please. Okay, so overall I'd give this an 8 out of 10. And maybe I'm scoring it like this because of some things that we don't know about yet. That could be a possibility. I didn't think it was a terrible episode. I really liked it. One of the things I was a bit unsure about that made it this low, it's not that low, but you know, it's not it's not as high as it could be, is about Lila and Kagami's relationship. I would hope with the way it is in this episode, because Kagami, she's not someone who, you know, quickly makes friends with people. I am assuming they've had some sort of friendship before. I'm also assuming that in Kwame's Choice, at least in part 2, that Adrian and Marinette did get together. It seems like they are dating in this, which is awesome. So as you all know, I love the love square, and Adrian is my favourite side of the love square, so I'm in heaven. So and I'm also assuming that Kagami helped them get together because of the way Marinette was saying, oh, I can't talk to Kagami because I haven't spoken to Adrian really yet, and like Kagami helped us get together and I don't want to disappoint her. That's what I'm assuming went down. And no, it's not an 8 out of 10 just because I dislike Kagami. Don't get me wrong, she's not my favourite character, but she is slowly growing on me. She just has, in my opinion, a lot of making up to do for some of her previous actions, which I thought were pretty horrible, to be honest, in my opinion. It's fine if you don't agree with me, that's fine, I don't care. I don't need you to agree with me. I'm not going to change my mind just because one of you disagrees with me. Anyway, the other reason why it's 8 out of 10 as well is I felt the motivations in this episode were a little bit off. I didn't particularly feel like they made a lot of sense. I can understand 100% where Kagami was coming from with feeling like Marinette didn't want to be friends with her anymore, because Marinette was kind of ignoring her. I mean, we all understood why Marinette was doing that. Kind of. This is kind of a bit I don't quite get, is I'm not sure I quite buy Marinette's reasoning for it. Maybe that's possibly because something happened in Kwame's Choice that we don't know about. But even so, I just feel like it was a bit strange, like why can't you tell, like just ask her for help, you know, Kagami would help you. Yeah, I feel like Marinette's motivation was a bit strange. However, it was meant to be a more fun, kind of more chill episode. You know, Elation was a pretty heavy episode. I'm assuming in Kwame's Choice, if Adrian and Marinette get together, I would assume that's going to be a pretty, you know, heavy 2-part in terms of, you know, emotion and what goes on in the episode. So I liked that this seemed, I don't know because I haven't seen Kwame's Choice, I like that this seemed that it was a more of a chill, fun episode with all the class in. You all know I like a good class episode, so I liked the overall tone of the episode in general. So the opening was really cute with Ladybug and Cat Noir. So they're dating, but they don't know, and they're basically just talking to each other about themselves. It was so cute. So Marinette's gonna absolutely lose it when she finds out they're the same person. However, another thing I was on about, maybe this is just part of Marinette's character because she likes to make everything super duper complicated, but I was just like, you don't need to tell Adrian that you love him. Just be with him. Like, Adrian knows you, like he says in Guilt Trip, one of my favourite episodes, that what you say sometimes doesn't make sense, but he doesn't really care about that. He just wants to be with you. You don't need to tell him you love him. Just literally, I feel like Adrian would be very happy to sit next to you in complete silence. I think he'd be happy with that. you know? And I think that'd be great. I think the true mark of a great relationship is that you can both be happy in like complete silence together. It's not awkward, you don't have to fill the gap with meaningless conversation, you can just sit in silence together and it's not awkward at all. So yeah, and I think Adrian would be down for that because he loves you, so okay, but I guess it is important, but like let her build up to it, so you know. Anyway, I thought the little like montage with Nathaniel and Mark, yes Mark, woo, was really cute, with them trying to get them together, trying to get them to interact was really sweet. However, one thing I want to mention is Lila and Chloe. So I don't know if there's going to be room for it in Kwame's Choice, because it seems Kwame's Choice is very much focused on Adrian and Marinette getting together, plus these new heroes who are going to be temporarily having the Miraculouses. But their relationship is very interesting because I don't believe they really interacted this season so far. Like at all. I believe their last interaction probably was in the end of Risk, towards the end of Risk, you know? So okay, however, Sabrina was very interesting. She didn't actually say anything in this episode, but she heard what they said, and hopefully, maybe, Sabrina will finally, maybe not stand up to Chloe, but at least say something to one of the others to let them know what's going on. I think she's more likely to do that. Plus as well, she was on the boats during the concert sort of thingy, so I'm hoping that means Sabrina is pulling away from Chloe, because previously Sabrina's usually left out of like whole class activities because Chloe doesn't want to come, so Sabrina doesn't go. So usually I feel Sabrina wouldn't be at this sort of thing, so I'm hoping that Sabrina is gonna do something. Like I was saying last season, like I wasn't sure about Sabrina having a Miraculous because I felt she would just run and give it to Chloe. And whilst I'm kind of happy Sabrina got to help out in the episode where her best friend was akumatized, I kind of hope she would have a bit more of a kind of a redemption arc of her own to being a better person as well. But that didn't really happen, so hopefully Sabrina gets that as well. And also just talking about Lila with her manipulation, is Chloe fully on board with everything? Because it seemed that Chloe had no part in what was going on with Kagami. I feel like again Lila is using Chloe like a pawn. Like there was no Chloe mention when Lila was cutting out those photos. I don't even think Chloe even knows what's going on with Kagami and what Lila was trying to do. So that was very interesting. I'd like to see more of what they get up to together, if anything. I don't know, at the minute it just seems a bit empty and hollow. Like it's been, got 9 other episodes previous to this, and I don't think they really even spoken once apart from maybe in multiplication. So I'm a bit confused. I feel like at least one of them would have something to say if Adrian and Marinette start dating, which it does seem like they are. So I don't know. And I'm also 100% hyped to see the cow scene where Marinette is mooing at a photo of a cow. I cannot wait. I'm not really sure how that's going to work in English. Like moo and you, I guess, kind of rhyme in a way, but they don't really sound like similar words. So I don't know. So now let's talk about the song. Okay, first of all, the lyrics were very, very sweet. It was very cute, but I still did find it very cringy. During my reaction I had to pause several times. If this ever happened to me in real life, I think I'd throw up. Didn't like it, and I'm not sure I want to hear this song in English because as we all know from the Christmas special, Cat Noir's voice actor in English can't really sing, so I hope they get someone else to do that, but I'm also not mentally prepared to hear it in my own language. No, thank you very much. Reading the subtitles was enough. I think I will always skip this scene. I can't do it, but oh my god. Nino, the backup singer, yes. Kim with the dolphin. Amazing. Like I said, it was a more chill episode with comedic moments in it because I think Kwame's Choice plus Elation, they were quite heavy episodes. So I liked it for that, don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay. Also, Kagami's Akuma, I absolutely loved this Akuma. I mean, first of all though, before she actually gets Akuma, she's talking to Monarch and she's like, I know what this is about, you're not like doing this to help me, you're doing it for yourself. And he's like, yeah, totally. However, why on earth would he give her an Akuma? Which like, she can't even see Ladybug and Cat Noir. So how's she ever going to get the Miraculous off them? Like, what's the point of this Akuma for Gabriel? Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes an Akuma goes wrong, like Robustus, that kind of went a bit wrong, where Markov was like, ha, I can take your Miraculous instead, and Gabriel's like, please do not do that. So sometimes they go a bit wrong, but that's often not his fault. But this one was just like, how is she even going to get their Miraculouses when she can't even see them? That's another reason why it's 8 out of 10, because it was just like, okay. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it was a cool Akuma, and to be honest, if, you know, this was real, I'd want to be akumatized like this. Some of you probably don't know this because I don't feel the need to mention it all the time, but I'm autistic. I hate loud noises. Loads of loud noises are the death of me. My brother and his nephew came over to the house the other day and immediately started making noise, and I immediately nearly had like a sensory overload because I can't stand loads of really loud noises. There were like 5 people in the room, and 5 people was 5 people too many. It's just me. I just like to be alone and silent most of the time. So loud noises really gets me, and I was just like, Kagami, this Akuma, so peaceful. But then on the news, Clara was like, it's terrorising the city. I'm like, all she's doing is having for a wander. And then she puts her feet in the Seine for a paddle. She's causing absolutely zero harm to anyone. Everyone's getting scared, understandably, but she's not actually doing anything. Like, she does a bit later with the lightning and the wind and stuff, but she doesn't do anything at first. It's like she's just wandering around. Like, how dare you? Like, reports on the facts, Clara! That's what I said, it was like a chill episode. Kagami didn't really fight anyone. I know there's stuff with the helicopter and stuff, but it was a largely chill Akuma fight where she just wanders back through the city. It's like, no, I remember this. I remember that. A more chill episode. And then she breaks out of it herself without really having to talk to anyone but Gabriel. So yeah, it was great. Another reason why this episode is also 8 out of 10 is due to the Lucky Charm, because I thought it was useless. I liked how the Lucky Charm was a reference to the present that Marinette gives to Kagami right at the end of the episode. That was sweet. But I was just like, Marinette could have sketched out her idea and been like, this bit's gonna be red, this bit's gonna be yellow. Did you really need, like, do you know how, like, we call them hammer beads in this country. Do you know how long those things take? Marinette would have had to de-transform in that time. That takes longer than 5 minutes to do. Like, unless Thomas Astruc and his team are absolute beasts at iron on bead, it would have taken you longer than 5 minutes, mate. It wouldn't have worked the way you wanted. She should have just like sketched out and been like, this, this and this. Yeah, let's do it, everyone. Like, it was just like, okay. So like, yeah, it was cute how it called back to the little photo thing, the keychain, whatever it was, that Marinette gave to Kagami, but I did think the Lucky Charm itself was kind of pointless. So now let's talk about the tail end of the episode. The ending with everyone with Kagami was very cute. How she has all these friends now. I do find it hard to believe that she didn't have, at the very least, also Adrian's number in her ring, but okay. But then Kagami rang Lila and was like, hey, can we be friends? And, you know, obviously Lila doesn't want to be best friends with Kagami. She's using Kagami to her own end, and I am hoping that when Lila does eventually drop Kagami, because I can't see her wanting to be friends with her long term, Kagami realises that Lila was using her and it's not because she thinks so. Let's love Kagami. Like, I did feel really bad for Kagami in this episode, just because Marinette is terrible at communicating with absolutely everybody in her life. Like, she's terrible at it. Then, oh my god, right at the end, Miss Tsurugi came in. I knew she'd be angry. I said she was in that whatever theory video I made, was it for Saturday? I don't remember. I knew she'd be angry. I knew it. I knew she would. Oh my god. But then she said, okay, so she was like, I feel like that scene really confirmed that she knew who Gabriel Babes was, which I kind of already guessed before because she gave him the technology to make all the rings. So, as in, not the Alliance rings, those rings as well, but also the Miraculous rings, I guess. I don't really know what to call them. She gave him all the technology to do that, so I feel like she knows. But then she also said, you made my dream disappear. What on earth has he done? Has he... I don't know. Like, there was no more information. And it's not like Miss Tsurugi is, like, you know, a main character in the show. But I was just like, what is she talking about? I have no idea at all. So, some thoughts on that, besties. I have so many theory video ideas and I just don't have time to do it all. I'm so mad. This is like why I like having kind of like at least a month break between some of the bigger episodes, so I can first of all think and let it all sink in and have an appropriate emotional reaction to it and have time to process it all. And then talk to you all about it, make theory, but yeah. I need time, and this week I do not have time because tomorrow I am going to be in Edinburgh. But anyway, so yeah, overall this episode is an 8 out of 10, not the worst episode of the show. I did enjoy it since it was a more fun, chill episode, although I will pay never to hear Adrian Agreste sing again. The MVP of the episode was Kagami. She was awesome in the episode, and MVP special mentions to Mark. Why? Because he's Mark. Any episode with Mark in, he gets an MVP special mention, and also special mention to Kim, because Kim made me laugh. I love Kim. Kim's great. So yeah, besties, I think this is the shortest analysis I have filmed in like a year. Wow. Yeah, I didn't have much to say. I don't think there's much was wrong with it. It's just the Lucky Charm seemed a bit pointless. I would like to see more of Lila and Kagami's relationship develop prior to this episode, which I would assume we get in Kwame's Choice, but I'm also a bit unsure we won't because I feel like it's all going to be about Adrianette, so I'm not really sure what to think about that right now, so I don't know. And yeah, so I didn't think it was bad. I liked it. So yeah, Kagami seems to be playing a pretty big part this season, which I don't actually hate as much as I thought I would. Which is a relief. So I'd love to know what you think of this episode, besties. If you're gonna write me a whole ass essay, then that's great. I can't wait to read it, but I do have terrible eyesight, so if you could put some paragraphs in that, that would be absolutely wonderful. And like I said before, I am going to be in Edinburgh tomorrow. So I may not be around to reply to comments, so if your comment goes unreplied for longer than you expected, it is because I'm not in the country. I'll be back soon though. I'm only going like overnight, so don't worry about it. I'm not going like for a month. God. But anyway, besties, I'd love to know what you think of this episode. Please don't worry if you disagree with me. Besties don't always have to agree with each other, but besties always respect each other's opinions. And like I said, please for now do not leave any comments under this video about Emotion. If you want to go talk about Emotion, please comment on one of the other promo trailers and I'll pick it up there. I don't know if you know, on the YouTube Studio app, it doesn't matter how old the video is that I posted, you could go write a comment under a video about, I don't know, Furious Fu if you really wanted to, and it would move up to the top of my comment feed on the YouTube Studio app. So I will still see it, don't worry. Just please, under this video, for a few weeks anyway, please do not comment anything about Emotion. So I'd love to know what you think about this episode, besties, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!